right? I mean, they told me
Okay,
that
guys,
last night.
I'm going to be talking about
Breakfast. Is
episode
that on the
2
schedule?
from
It
season
isn't.
4,
But the lieutenant
and
told
I'm
me
going
that
to
he'll be
start
doing
by
breakfast for
the
someone
opening
down at
scene
the
of the
harbor.
episode, which I
I mean,
think
if
is
he
very
ain't,
important.
I can go get
Now,
this guest
it's
up at the
happening
falls.
outside the mayor's office,
I hate
and
this
I
detail,
wanted to
man.
include this part because you can
Soft
see
duty,
outside when
lots of
Herc is
perks.
there how, like, fancy it is.
All this
You
standing
know, there's
around
so
and
much pretty
waits.
greenery,
You know,
it's just a really
Hoskins
pretty
says I do the
building.
1 year,
So,
I'll
what
make sergeant on
happens
the next
next
list.
is a little
Yeah,
bit
they told me
confusing.
career-wise you can't do better than
And
driving
I
the
think
mayor.
it's an important part of the
Shit,
episode
if you can
because it
make
kind of
rent the
shows
right way, I'll
truly,
still be
you know,
working
that
Western drugs.
no matter how high up these people are, they're still kind of bad. And especially when Herc catches the mayor, it's just, I think it's personally really awkward. So
Alright,
yeah,
fuck this.
that's what I'm
gonna
going to
go look
start
for the
talking
lieutenant.
about.
Anyone comes looking, I'm back
Okay,
up on the
so
second
now
floor.
at this point, you can see Herc going back into the building to meet with the mayor. And I really wanted to focus on like the scenes
Sir?
themselves
I understood
and
that
just
the
look
mayor
how
might be going to
official everything looks
breakfast at
here.
the harbor.
Like you don't,
With
the
Quarice.
audience doesn't expect
But
what's going
that's
to
up in the air, I
happen,
thought.
and
Would you happen to know
everyone
what
just looks
Lieutenant
so
Hoskins is?
official. I just think that that was a big part of setting this whole scene up, and the camera shots also coming up as Herc enters the hallway. You see him. You see the camera here as he's going into each room trying to find the mayor. That the camera doesn't follow him, and for me that kind of reminded me of like The Shining. And you can, at this point, the audience is able to see, you know, something's a little fishy. Why isn't the camera following Herc? You know, they're just setting you up for this to just fall. So finally, yeah, you get to the awkward part, and you just see Herc's face, which is super. He's just shocked because that's not what you want to see when you open the door. And I think it's important, this camera shot where they film or they take a picture of each of these famous portraits, and Herc just looks so ashamed that something so official and, you know, they're supposed to be important people just did something so horrible. Okay, this next scene's one of my favorites because it's Prez. Everybody loves Prez, kind of. And I think it's important that the scene here, the colors are so vibrant. It's almost as it's portraying a new start for Prez. And also the song, the Burning Ring of Fire. I think it perfectly, like, explains his life perfectly. He burned all of his ties with the police department, and now he has to just live with that. And it's just a perfect song to describe his new situation. He's stuck sticking or getting gum off of chairs. You know, at this point his life just kind of sucks, and that song is really sad and just really realistic for Prez at this point. So, right, and this next scene I find very important. As you just saw to the left, you saw the picture of Avon because he basically donated all the money for this gym, and I think it's a way to show that although Avon's a horrible person, he was able to do something good. Not, I don't find it a way for him to make up what he did, Hunt Stringer, but overall, he kind of just gave back to the community. And another aspect that I thought was very interesting was that as this guy is making the gym work, it's just he left the drug life after he tried to go back to it, and his life is just a lot better. You see this lady, you know, people making him food and like offering him, you know, to come over or just show their appreciation for what he's done for the whole community. It's just a great way to jump back from the whole Avon and Stringer and all the shootings. You know, it's a part of the season or this episode where you don't really see a lot of murder, and it's just giving back to the community, especially with Marlo and him handing out money. But this scene in particular, I thought was very important to the overall atmosphere of just giving back to the community. Yay, Bubbles is back. I picked this episode because I found it a great way to show that Bubbles is kind of trying to lead this guy, his new friend, towards a better path than his previous friend who ended up dying of heroin. He's trying to show him that school is important and that it will just lead him to a better life. If he can't do simple math, he can't make it. And also, Prez shows up, and I feel like it's another way for them to connect Prez and just every character back into the whole story of the show.